Listen, can we be honest? How many people feel left behind by God? How many people, like, because of what you've had to walk through in this season, you just feel left behind? Listen, specifically when it comes to marriage and it comes to singleness and dating, how many people, because you have been not been able to meet the person of your dreams or who you thought or what you expected, how many people do you feel like God has abandoned you or left you? Can I be honest? Listen, I am 30 and I am single, and there are moments in my walk with God that I feel left behind by God. I am wondering, where's my spouse? Where's my wife? Where's my partner? Why is it taking this? Why is it taking so long? Specifically, like, I'm talking to the people that you've had to choose singleness. Like, you had many options and many opportunities and many avenues that you could have walked down, but because of what God has called you to, and the faithfulness that He's called you to in this season, you have had to stay here and wait here. And what do you do when it feels like waiting is killing you? What is it? What do you do when it feels like the very things that you've desired the most your entire life, the things that you've hoped for and dreamed for and prayed for? What do you do when it feels like God does not have those things in mind for you right now? And this is what I think I want to encourage you with in this video, is that oftentimes we can't allow our thoughts to dictate where we are in this season. You can never start allowing your thoughts to dictate and your feelings to start beginning to dictate what God is doing. Because here's the reality: as high as the heavens are above the earth, so are my thoughts above your thoughts and my ways above your ways, baby. You don't know everything that God is doing. And if you are quite honest with yourself, you really can't see it all. Like, when I get in some of my biggest ruts, can I be honest? There are moments when I don't feel too hot about it. There are moments when I don't feel like preaching. There are moments when I don't feel like praising. I don't want to sing. Can I tell you that it is so crucial that we maintain a posture of humility that remembers, I do not know what I am doing and I cannot see everything that is happening. So yes, I am. Yes, it does hurt. Yes, I did. Yes, I have desired this, God. Yes, I do want this. But what I am saying is that it is so important that we remember that God is faithful. Did you hear what I just said? Say it with me. God is faithful. Everything that God promised you, He will fulfill. Not one word from the Lord will fall to the ground. Listen, Isaiah says this. He says, "For I, at the right time, I will make it happen." What I'm saying to you is that, has it ever occurred to you that God is working out something in you, maybe while He's calling you to wait? And rather than lean into the work that God has called you to do and called you to steward into this season, the enemy wants you to be distracted by your feelings and what you're thinking and how your emotions are raging and riled up because of what you haven't experienced yet. And this isn't a video to tell you that, you need to get to work and while you're waiting. You should, but I think even more so, this video is to bring perspective on that God has never left you behind. Who told you that you were supposed to be married by the time you were 30? Like, more than anything, I believe this is supposed to be a video that dismantles many of the expectations and the standards that culture has placed on us. Who told you that you were supposed to have a house by 28? Who told you that you were supposed to be married by 30? Who convinced you that you were supposed to have kids by 34? I never said that. As a matter of fact, oftentimes I say the opposite. Did you read about Sarai when she had a kid? Did you read about Hannah? Did you read about Mary and her situation when she had a kid? And what I'm saying is that I think more than anything, this video is supposed to be an invitation for us to reject every lie that culture is trying to preach to us, which is that we have to conform to the statistics that are around us. Listen, baby, you are so much bigger than a statistic, and your life and your calling is so much broader than any metric that anybody could place on you. Listen, I know you're 34 and you single, but can I tell you that God has a plan for your life? Listen, for I know the plans I have for you, thus saith the Lord, plans not to harm you, but to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. And what I'm trying to tell you and to get you to see is that just because God has not done it yet for you does not mean that He won't do it. Just because God has not fulfilled it for you yet does not mean that He is not working it out and in process and processing you to it right now. What I am trying to get you to see is that two things. Have you been believing the narrative that culture has preached to you? And also, have you lost sight of the God that you first started following? Has the weight caused you to lose sight of who God really is? Has the weight transformed your perspective of who God is? Maybe not in the best way. Is God still your way maker? Is God still a promise keeper? Is God still your everything? Or have you deduced God and his role and his throne in your life? And has your situation and your life stage and your age now become your God? Baby, let me tell you something. The same spirit that raised Christ from the dead is the same spirit that's living on the inside of you. The same spirit that opened up the womb of Sarai and of Hannah and of every barren woman in the Bible is the same God that can open up the womb of yours. I am trying to show you that just because maybe culture has deemed that you are past the age does not mean that God is finished, done, doesn't mean that it's concluded and it's wrapped up. What I'm trying to tell you is that oftentimes when God has invited us into seasons of obscurity, oftentimes when God has invited us to isolated seasons, it is because he is preparing us. Are you okay with the path that God has called you to walk down? Are you okay with God being God? Are you okay with him being Lord of your life? I know he's your Savior, but is he Lord? I know he's your King, but have you given him permission to lead you? And here's the reality. If you are going to stay in the fight in this season, if you are going to embrace a right perspective of who God is, it is going to take you surrendering every expectation, every stat, every statistic that you placed on yourself, that your mama preached to you, and that TikTok continues to tell you. Baby, it is not too late for God to show up and be God. Did you forget the fact that it only took him 3 days to change the entire world? So if he could do what no man could do in 3 days, what can he do with this amount of time in your life? It ain't too late for you to have kids. It ain't too late for you to be married. It ain't too late for everything that you have dreamed and desired that God has put and confirmed in you to happen. What I am saying is that you must abandon the narrative that culture has tried to sell you. And you must realize that this has caused much of the discontentment in you. I'm here to tell you face to face that, listen, I heart to heart feel what you're going through. It sucks most of the time when I have to sit here and reckon with the fact that the thing that I desire the most in the world hasn't come from me yet. And the things that I desire the most to experience haven't come to fruition yet. But what I also am saying is that just because it has not happened yet does not discount who God is in my life. If all that you are following God for is for what he can give you and what he can do for you, then baby, he's really not your God. You're trying to make him your genie. And listen to me, God will never allow his position in your life to be defined by what he can give you and what he can do for you. Baby, I don't just want you for what I can do for you. I want you to want me for who I am. He says, I am that I am. Everything you need, I am. I am not just the I am who gives you gifts, but I'm also the I am who gives you identity and gives you confirmation and gives you clarity and gives you purpose and who gives you love and who teaches you peace and gives you joy. And what I am saying is that quite literally, we have not realized that oftentimes how we have allowed the noise and the culture around us to steal the joy and the peace that he's given to us. And this ain't an easy message. This isn't an easy, video, but I do think that there is something to say about waiting on God and trusting that God will show up to do what we couldn't do. If you look at Mark chapter 9, you see Jesus coming down off the mountain he's just finished up the transfiguration, and his disciples, they've been waiting for him. Only 3 went up the mountain with him: Peter, James, John. And there's a man with a demon-possessed boy, and he's brought his son ultimately to see Jesus and for the demon to be casted out, but Jesus is not there. And because Jesus is not there, he reaches for the thing that is closest and resembles the most to who Jesus is, and that is his disciples. And this is the thing that he encounters. They cannot perform this miracle that he needs. They try to heal it. They try to cast it out. They cannot do it. And what I am saying is that do not allow this to be a season where you reach for what is close to God because you are unable to wait for him. Do not allow this to be a season where you reach for a carbon copy because you are too impatient to wait for the thing that God had prepared for you. everything that God said he is intended to do for your life. But I am saying that we have to find peace in this waiting. And we have to find contentment, because our discontentment is the proof that we need, that we really still are wrestling with our flesh and wrestling with our appetites. And one thing I know about God, the right thing too soon is not a blessing, it is a curse. And God refuses to put you in bondage, and he refuses to live in second place to what really has your heart. So before I let you come into this promise, and before I allow you to inhabit what I have for you and who I have for you, I got to get out of you what Egypt sold into you. And this is a season where God is reworking your heart and circumcising you. And it's challenging. It really is. It's challenging when I think about my own life. A lot of the idolatry, a lot of the appetites that God has been cutting out of my heart and cutting out of my mind. And the moments where I just want to run and I just want to do what I want to do and I just want to go where I want to go. But what I am saying is that there is peace, there is joy in the waiting. And we just have to trust God and know that he is the giver of good gifts and he will fulfill his promises to us. So listen, I love you. I hope this has blessed you. Stay strong. Keep waiting. You have not been left behind.